Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth. This is Frizzy Lizzie Stitches. Today is November the 27th, 2022, and this is Flosstube number 33. Okay, so I have a little bit different of a background, and I have a friend today. I always have a friend. He just isn't always accessible because he's such a big boy. But this is Wilson. I'm sitting on the floor in front of my Christmas tree because we put the tree up, I guess, yesterday. And anyway, I figured since it's only up for a short while that might as well film my videos by the tree. So yeah, and then this is our TV, so I put like some, you can't really see it, like fire. But anyway, the glare right there is from the window. So, and despite it being like kind of a dreary day, I think the lighting is pretty decent. So I don't actually have to use the ring light today, which is nice. So one less thing for me to set up to film. But anyway, so it's been about 2 weeks since my last video. And it feels like a really long time, to be quite honest. So, as I mentioned in my last video, I did get a job, and so my first day of work was last week. And so I had, full week of new hire stuff, and then this past week was Thanksgiving. So I actually only worked Monday through Wednesday because Thursday and Friday were holidays. And so that was kind of nice because, getting to kind of ease into the whole 40-hour work week job thing again, because it's definitely been a while. I left my previous job back in May, so I've had about 6 months to just kind of, wake up when I please, take Wilson on his walks, have all the time to do all the things. So yeah, waking up and getting out the door at an early hour every day and getting to work on time and then not getting home until like 5 o'clock is definitely an adjustment to be made. So, but so far so good, and I am thankful to have that holiday week as kind of a buffer to kind of ease into it. So anyway, that's my new job is great. My coworkers are really friendly, and the work that I will be doing sounds like it will be fun and challenging, so I'm excited for that. And thank you to everybody who left a congratulatory comment regarding that news. I appreciate it. So yeah, and let's see. I did stitch on 3 projects. However, one of them has like an absurd amount of progress compared to the other 2. And it also happens to be a new start. So yes, and then let's see. I put the tree up. We had our Thanksgiving last week. Bobby and I had a couple friends over, so a lot more food got eaten than originally planned, because it was just going to be the 2 of us. So we did not have nearly as many leftovers as we thought we might, which I guess is a good and a bad thing, because good because we don't get tired of the leftovers for eating them for like a week, but sad because I kind of wish I had more thankful food to eat, because we already have eaten all of the leftovers that we had. So anyway, but yeah, and then another really exciting thing that happened. So Taylor Swift is going on tour next year, and she had her ticket sales on like the 15th. Well, for the pre-sale. It is a whole ordeal. If you're not even into Taylor Swift, you've probably seen something about it on the news, about how Ticketmaster is ridiculous and yada yada, but I'm not even gonna go into any of that. I'm just very thankful because it was my second day of work. My coworkers and boss were like actually very supportive of me trying to get my Taylor Swift tickets. And I was successful in getting tickets, so I will be going to see Taylor Swift next year in Cincinnati, and I'm freaking pumped. So I'll be going with Bobby and then my mom and my sister, so I'm very excited for that. But that's not until like I guess next summer. So yep. And I guess the last like little thing is that I do have I am going to talk about books at the end, but, and I'll talk more about it later, but I definitely have switched over to reading more audiobooks because I do have like a 30-minute commute to work in the morning and in the evening. So that's kind of what I've been listening to while I drive to work. And I've actually gotten to knock out quite a few audiobooks doing that because I do listen to them on like 1.5 speed. So anyway, I'll talk more about that later. I think we can just I think we can go get into the stitching now. All right, so I think so technically the first thing that I worked on since last time was my new start, but I'm gonna save that for the end because that's what I have put the most time into. So we'll just, like I said, save that to the end. So the first project I'm going to show you is Possum Song by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. And I haven't made too much progress on this because my goal for this month was to stitch on it for 5 hours. And when I showed it to you last, I had stitched on it for like 3.5. So I stitched another 1.5 hours on this. And this is what it's going to look like. And this is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. And let's see. This is what it looks like now. So I think I finished out this leaf over here and then did like that little mushroom. Oh, okay. I did the little mushroom and those little sprigs of leaves next to it. So I think because of the TV, the lighting might be a little odd. That's a little better. Okay. Oh, Cecilia washing out again. Okay. Okay, we'll stick with that. Anyway, so yeah, I just did like a little bit right in this area. But I'm really close to finishing this, and I would really like to finish it before the end of the year. So we'll see if I can make that happen. I feel like it's a doable goal. So I'll talk more about plans in a moment. Because I actually have a lot of like announcements, if you will. But anyway, that's Possum Song by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. Oh, and I'm stitching that on like 16 count Black Ada with all the called for floss, nothing fancy. Okay, so the next project that I worked on was Stitch Into Christmas by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is what it's going to look like, and this is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. And this is what mine looks like now. So I added in the candy cane, some of this side brick, and then I started the box around this motif, which I think is like a star or something. But yeah, so I am stitching this on all of the kit materials that Caterpillar Cross Stitch provided to me. This is the 28 count even weave, and I'm stitching it 1/1, and I think that's it. I only stitched on this for like 2.5 hours. And like I said, it was all of the candy cane, this little bit, and the little box there, so. Probably will continue working on this one intermittently because it's basically my only Christmas project, and obviously it is the Christmas season. So I do have a couple Mill Hill ornament kits that I would like to stitch. Realistically, I'll probably only stitch one of them, but that's kind of one of my plans for December, so we will see. Oh, and then this is kind of cute. So I had this bright idea to make a friendship bracelet scissor fob, and because I had these letter beads that I really wanted to use, and anyway, I ended up making this for my scissors. So obviously, you know, it looks like a friendship bracelet, and I just kind of looped it around the scissors, and then I made it say Lizzie for Frizzy Lizzie Stitches. And yeah, that was just a fun thing that I did a couple months ago. But anyway, these scissors are in this project bag, so. Okay, and the very last project I have to show you is my new start, which is Coraline figure by Abbie Designs. It is going to look like this. I don't have a last time because it's my new start, but it's not going to look like a new start because I have stitched on this pretty religiously the past 2 weeks. I have stitched on this for 14.5 hours because I'm just kind of addicted to it and really would like to work on, I would like it to be a 2022 SAF, if you will. So anyway, this is what mine is looking like. Let me see if I can put this bag behind it so the Christmas tree lights aren't shining through. I definitely think this color is showing up a lot more accurate than it was last time I tried to show this fabric. It is a 32 count Lugana from Color & Cotton, and it is opalescent, and the color is called Salem. So yeah, as you can see, quite a lot of progress. So the only bad thing about choosing this fabric is her socks are like basically the same color, but I wasn't really bothered by that because it's such a little part of the pattern and there's gonna be backstitch everywhere outlining everything, so I kind of was just like whatever. But I think everything else looks really great on this fabric, especially her yellow rain jacket, and her blue hair pops really well on this color as well. So she doesn't have I mean, you would have seen what it's gonna look like, but she doesn't have eyes or mouth on this. It's just she's a blank face, I guess. But yeah, and then there's gonna be lots of backstitch to kind of bring out the details, like in her hands and her coat and stuff. So yeah, this, I think it's like 55 by 99 stitches, and basically the whole bottom part is done, like from here down. So I just have to fill in her face, fill in the other yellow color in her jacket, and then I think there's like some yellow, kind of like this right here where it's like scattered out. There's some of that on this side. And then of course there's all the back stitch. So I'm kind of wanting to just continue stitching on this until it's done because it is such a small project and I've already come this far. Because I also, like I said, want to finish this before the year is out. So that basically, the two projects that I have on my WIP list that I want to finish are Coraline and Possum Song. So yeah, anyway, that's all I have to say about this particular project. But I'm really enjoying how it looks. And it's been very fun to stitch because there are not that many colors, and so like on her coat right here, like I did all the dark yellow, and now all that's left here is the lighter color yellow, and except for like a little bit right there and a little bit right here, I pretty much just fill it in. So I won't really even have to look at the chart, really. So, and her face is like 3 different shades of this skin tone, so I mean I will have to look at the chart for that, but yeah, it's been a really fast stitch. So I mean 14.5 hours, but it's been coming together really quickly because I've been spending so much time on it. So okay, so here's where I guess get pretty chatty. So my plans for the rest of the year, I'm gonna, hold on, I need to sneeze. I can sneeze, but whatever. So my plans for the rest of the year, this is both stitching plans and Flosstube plans. So the first one is I want to finish Possum Song and I want to finish Coraline. Mainly because my main goal for 2023 is going to be to reduce my overall WIP count. Right now technically I have 12 WIPs, I think. But 2 of them, I think, are going to become a UFO or an unfinished object, simply because I just don't feel the drive or the passion to work on those projects. I am not prepared to totally give them away or destash them, but I definitely don't want to consider them active WIPs unless, you know, that passion or drive comes back to want to work on them. So I'll talk more about all that when I do my 2023 WIP parade, which will be later this year. But yeah, so my main goal for 2023 is to reduce my overall WIP count. And by doing that, or to help do that, I would like to finish Possum Song and Coraline before the year is done. So that's not to say that I don't have other projects that I want to start when I finish those things, but my main goal for 2023 is to, like I said, get that whip count down. So because of that, I did start like a WhipGo board for, I did start a WhipGo board for next year. It doesn't really look like a WhipGo board because of the way I have typed it out. I'm using something called Notion, which is like it's like a productivity note-taking tool. It's got lots of features that you can play around with to kind of do whatever you need it to do. And so I'm gonna kind of use that to track like basically what the WhipGo goals are and like what status it is, whether, you know, it's been called or not, if I'm working on it or not, if it's complete or not, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of the, I guess, slots on my WhipGo board are repeats of another, but that is mainly to help me get finished with things. So, and I think I'm going to try to talk more about this in my, this TV is getting a little glary. I think I'm going to try to talk more about this in my, whip parade, excuse me. But yeah, because I don't want to bore you with too many details right now, and like speaking cryptically about projects. But yeah, so like I said, I have about 10 to 12 whips, but I really want to get it down to like 5 or 6. So yeah, and then, okay, so as far as Flosstube plans go, I think I'm only going to have one more Flosstube before the end of the year. So basically 2 weeks from now will be December the 11th. So I'll have a Flosstube then. And then I'm going to plan to do my 2023 whip parade the next week. So it'll just be 1 week after that Flosstube update on the 18th. And then I just don't see myself doing another video until the new year, because the Sunday after that is Christmas. The Sunday after that is New Year's Day. So I'll probably be back after that, which would be like January the 8th, which is actually a day after my birthday. So anyway, but yeah, so you can expect 2 more videos from me after this for the year. And yeah, but if you know, miss me and you don't want to be away from me that long, you know, you can come hang out with me on Instagram. I don't post every single day, but I do, I'm definitely more active on there than I am on YouTube, because YouTube videos take a lot more effort and whatnot, but yeah. So yeah, I think that's all for announcements. I did have a small piece of haul that I wanted to show. I got my Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Fabric of the Month. I haven't showed any of these like of the month things lately, just because usually when I get them in the mail I just put it away and forget about it, but I did want to show this one because it's a very pretty color. It's called Castle in the Sky. This is 36 count linen, and this is what the color looks like. It's very pretty. It's like a very oceany, like teal color. But what is so different about this fabric compared to some of the others that we've gotten this year is how soft it is. Like, it's already like so flimsy, and it's just like, it feels amazing. I feel like, I mean, all of the fabrics are pretty soft, but I just feel like this one is like extra soft, and I was just kind of, you know, really excited about it and wanted to kind of show it off, because like even with its little card on, like it was just very like flimsy, you know, and I was like, man, this fabric is soft. So anyway, that's my Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Fabric of the Month. I have no idea what's gonna go on it, but that's okay. And yeah, so that's about it for stitching related things. I do have a little bit of book things to talk about, so if you're into that, you can stick around, and if not, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Okay, so books. I definitely have, so I last time I talked to you, I was starting House in the Cerulean Sea. I literally have only read like the first 50 pages. I have found it very difficult to, I guess, have time to sit down and like physically read a book. So a lot of the books that I have read have been audiobooks. So the first one, I guess the one that I just finished is, it's a book that I already had like a hard copy of, but I did borrow a audiobook from my library using the Libby app. But this is called How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. And this was a great book. It basically, the main character, Tom, he has this condition where it takes him a very long time to age. And they have deemed this, I guess, condition anageria, which is kind of a play on progeria, because progeria, it means that you age more quickly than you should. So anageria, he's aging a lot more slowly than he should. But anyway, this book is so neat because it kind of, like, it's being told in the modern day, but he keeps having these flashbacks to his past, all the way from when he was a child living with his mother to when he, you know, started to kind of have to live on his own and, you know, start to like move around a lot so that people didn't recognize that he wasn't aging and things like that. And yeah, so anyway, it's a fantastic book. It has a really great message about, you know, how important it is to live in the present. And I just thought it was a really entertaining book. And it had there was one particular character that was very frustrating and definitely got what was coming to him. So if you like revenge, then this might be a good one for you. But yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. The next book that I want to talk about is what I'm currently reading, which is called With You Forever. I'm going to put a picture up because I do not have a copy of this. Again, I borrowed this audiobook, this time from Hoopla, which is basically the same thing as Libby. You still register with your library card to access the digital library. But this is a Bergman Brothers novel by Chloe Liese. This, I believe, is the 4th book in the series, and it's really good so far. All of the books are really cute. Basically, kind of similar to the Bromance Book Club books. They're all connected. Like, you can read each of the books individually if you want, but they are the characters that are in there are connected to each other. So like the first one focuses on one of the brothers and the girl that he ends up with, and then like the next book is another Bergman brother and a girl that he ends up with. I think the third one is actually a Bergman sister and the guy that she's married to and kind of their whole marriage and stuff. And then this one is yet again another Bergman brother, and the girl in this one is actually best friends with the girl from the first book. So anyway, it's cute because they, you know, since they're all brothers, it's a very family-oriented family. But anyway, they spend a lot of time together, so you get to see kind of some of the other characters in there, which is really cute. So, and this book is pretty good. I think the third one has been my favorite so far. This one's cute. It's just not like the best book ever. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like watching a Hallmark movie. Like, you enjoy it, but it's not like Academy Award winning or anything like that. But yeah, so that's what I'm reading right now. And then what I'm going to read next is To Kill a Mockingbird. So again, I have a hard copy of this, but I am borrowing an audiobook from Libby, just because, like I said earlier, I've been listening to audiobooks while on my commute, because it just is an easier way for me to be able to continue reading. And it's nice because sometimes, you know, it gets boring listening to music and you kind of want to engage your brain a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna read this one next. Obviously it's a classic. I somehow got away with never having to read this book in school. So I did, however, see a community theater production of To Kill a Mockingbird, so I kind of briefly know what it's about, but I'm excited to read the book for myself finally. So yeah. well, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you found something entertaining in this video. And I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. If that's what you did last week. If not, I hope you're having a great end of fall, start of winter. I guess if you're in Australia, you're ending spring and going into summer maybe. So, yeah, pretty crazy. I always forget that the seasons are backwards in Australia. But anyway, that's a whole nother rabbit hole, I guess. Yeah, so anyway, I don't have anything else to talk about before I, start rambling about nonsense. So I'm gonna let you go now. And I hope you have a great week, or a great 2 weeks, because that's when I will see you next. So, bye.